Now, if we look under here, look. Do you see all of this stuff? Let me show you if I get it with a paintbrush. I should really have an extractor on for this.
Do I?
Not yet, be alright, as long as I don't disturb it. But you can see all of that. If you zoom in, there's a hell of a draft coming from under here. And there's lots of it, and I've already hoovered this already, but I gotta go again. If I bring some closer, I'll show you. Right, if I bring all of this closer, do you see how fine that is?
Yeah.
Right, now that hole in the wall there, yeah, is the cavity. So, this part here, and when you go under it, it goes up into the wall. This is the outer brick layer, and under, where I can get my finger under there, there's a gap there. That runs to all of the back of the plug sockets. So at the back of your plug socket, you might have a hole where your cable comes in. This stuff is very heavy to breathe, by the way. I don't know what all of it is, because I can't put this to anything. So again, especially this dust, and it's fine dust. Okay, now it wouldn't surprise me if there are possibly, I don't know, I'm going to get this looked at just to be doubly sure, to find out that there ain't no nasty nigglies been put under there deliberately. It's just my record with Safi. Now I want to go to the other side, because this side I haven't done yet. See all of that? Now, some of it ranges in size. Now, to the untrained eye, that's nothing. But all of that is connected to the cavity. Now that in the corner there is an up pipe for the toilet, basically. It allows the gases to vent. Now it comes all the way downstairs. And there's a toilet in here that's got its own one that vents into the kitchen. Now I've already sorted that. But the thing is with this, do you see that gap there? There's a hell of cold air coming from there. If that pipe was to ever go wrong, you would smell it in your kitchen. Now we notice that there's no skirting board here, but there is one under here, right? See that? Well, that's how it should really be, but there shouldn't be debris underneath it, because your air quality relies on this, and you're breathing that, right? So if we look at some of the other videos where I was taking the radiators off, and behind it, some of them have these seals on it. Oh, gotta get back up now. So some of the radiators have those seals on the back, triangle in the wall, in a square, and then your pipes come through the two, and then it goes onto another one, which then encases over that. But the one in the front room has that bit that cases it, but when you take it off, there's a hole in the wall and a load of dust and debris coming out. Now, I think I threw it in the bin. I'm already filthy anyway, so did I throw it in this one? I don't think it was that. Anyway, I threw pieces of this in the bin, and just to show you the dust on it, look at some of the other videos where you see all that dust and debris coming out of it. Yeah, it's a long gone, and I ain't rooting through that. So the one in the front room has all of the casing that looks like it. The radiator in the hallway has both of them. And the reason why they put them on there is not because of decoration or it makes life easier. No. It stops the gases, not gases, the debris, the particles from leaking through when you turn an extractor fan on. You'll think that most of it comes from your window. That's if you've got vents. And vents get blocked very quickly, because how many people in the UK actually are getting a paintbrush and a hoover in their window vents and removing all of the debris? No. And if a spider comes across there, and they so often do, they build a web on it because spiders traditionally use drafts. They're not stupid. Flies fly in draft and get swept up and sucked in, and the spider web grabs it, but more often than not the spider will abandon that web. Spiders usually make on average around 10 to 15, even 20 webs, and they go from web to web. If you ever watch them, they'll maneuver from one to the other. More chances of getting food. And some of them they'll sit on, garden spiders will. The ones that they leave, if there's better food on this one, they don't need to venture. And then these sticky blankets stop the airflow from coming through your windows. Your house is pulling the air from somewhere else. You've got holes behind your radiator. You've got massive holes in your cavity where your electricity box is. And all of those dust and debris are being sucked through there. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I've already...
I just seen that. Like 4 or 5 on as you
now
talked.
Kicked up the dust.
As you talk.
If you have asthma, bronchitis, or you keep getting repeated infections, there's another one that I used to do, and it gets more common. You hold your breath when you sleep. This is contributed to poor housing quality. Now, whether this is Saffron's fault or not, when building houses, there should never be this much dust and debris, because before you put units in, you know, your mums have spent a long time smacking you across the head, if we come back from the 80s time, right?
Yeah.
I know mine did. Or we'd be yelled at. You clear up. Did your parents ever go and check underneath your bed to make sure you didn't just shove all the shit underneath your bed? And yet, these are the same people that have grown in society that build these kitchens inside here, which would be Saffron, and you left all that shit under there. You have left all of that, and you haven't cleared away the debris. Now factor that into a toilet. This is when it becomes important. Now, I know for a fact that underneath the bath panel there was a past leak. Look, we look up here. You see this here? Do you see that? Yeah. That's a past leak, that is. Yeah, you went dizzy. Nice.
Yeah, I did.
If you zoom in, you should be able to see that. That's a past leak. So, you know, that's by and large, it's not terribly great job to have fixed it. Now, if we go through here, hold on. Let me go pave the way. Do you see this one?
Yeah.
So that's from a past leak, the same way as in the front room. And someone, if you can notice, someone's attempted to fix it just by painting over it, yes?
Yeah.
So it's not wet, there's no water coming through, it's a past leak. Obviously something ran across here. Do you see it? It goes across here. If you keep going back further.
I see a little, it doesn't really.
Here.
Much.
Yeah. And then further back. Now, it's not by and large whether that is anything to go on or not. And if you come here, it's there.
Give me your finger.
Yeah, because you're too zoomed in. Oh, it runs across here. It's hard to see it.
Yeah, it is. On the way.
I don't know. Terrible. Is it still zoomed in? Yes. So it runs all the way across there. So we come through the light at one point there. You can see it there. You can follow it. And it comes all the way back over here. Now anyway, by and large, that's not a problem because I can fix that. But the problem is going to be, if this is what you do, so where it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Yeah. So I suspect the toilet downstairs has leaked at one point. Now here's where it really counts, right? For your health relies on it. And again, to rely on these people, look at how they're already operating. They know that those vents or those gaps behind your skirting board need to be clean. I'm not a professional, but I happen to have picked this up from proper individuals that have done this. They will sweep away, they'll clear away all the debris, and they do a really nice, fine job. Then they'll build the units over it. This is a new kitchen. Now you take that type of attitude and now apply it to a toilet that's leaked.
Yeah.
Which in there, it definitely has. I'm going to clean that out. Haven't got around to it yet. I've just stopped the gases from leaking out of there. Even if it has it's usually got one of these systems on it that it lifts up. Well, if you've got high suction, and usually your vents are going to block off, and trust me when I say it, Saffron, I'm going to use you as an example. On the last property, you couldn't give a shit about windows, whether they were clogged or whatnot. It's not in one of your inventories to come out and sort. And why would you? Because the companies that made windows have made them very piss poor. I'm not going to lie. The vent for the window, where you can see it like this, it actually goes further off this way. Mm. And spiders and stuff love to get in there. And they also like to store their food in there. Mm-hmm. And it blocks it off. And your vent is then blocked. Then your house is going to be, that air, for that fan to come on in an extractor, it's got to pull it from somewhere. Well, it goes from behind your skirting boards and it pulls that. Now, if there are very fine particles like that, they get airborne and you breathe these up and it causes an asthma attack, bronchitis infection, repeated chest infections. It can make your breathing irregular, erratic. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of health problems from it. Now, you've also got the venting gas from the toilet. Mm-hmm. Even if it's got the system on it, that system is weak. So when testing it, that it's got one of those venting systems on it. Yeah. If there's no other air readily getting in, so in here there's no vent on the kitchen, it's sucking the air from there because it's the easiest place to pull it from. Now, with this mess that they make, if I go and have a look in there and there's been a toilet leak, they will just lift it up, fix the leak, and I'm willing to bet that they would leave any feces or tissue or anything else left beyond there. I guarantee we're going to find it. I'm going to get on with that in a few days and I will document it as I go. I'm just patching all of these up because it's very dangerous. This down here, it pulls it through the back of your radiators and then you put your heating on because it's getting nice and cold. And it's convecting. It's sucking cold air, not from inside your room. No, it's pulling it in from the cavity. That's why it coats the back of the radiator. And most of the dust blocks the top vent, which you would think is interesting. When you think the dust would sit on the vent or sit on the back of the grill of the radiator, not block it upwards. So that means it's pulling the dust from elsewhere. At the bottom of it, it's got a skirting board as well. It's pulling the air from there and it's putting it into your environment. So the problem is with this, you can't see the air current. It acts like water. Hot air is rising around because we're in a uniformed environment. A uniform environment is not outside. Outside, there's wind, there's all sorts of trees move. This mixes hot and cold air. In very rare circumstances, not always perfectly, but 90% of the time it's doing it quite well. We don't see tornadoes all the bloody time. Although they're getting quite a lot more debris in the air. Inside your house, it's uniform, it's static. And when it's static, there's a strange phenomena take place. Hot air bulks up towards your ceiling, which if it's pulled all those dust particles, and it has, it's put it up into the air. And this air begins to cool down and drops down. Now you're at breathing level, now you're at kids level. You'll find your house is always dusty. If it is, you've got a draw in from the cavity, lay money on it, and it's coming from places like here. So it's worth just whipping off the kickboards of your kitchen unit and having a look under there. If there's no dust, you're good. If there is, clear it up. You need a helper vacuum though. It needs a helper filter. And if you can see the cavity exposed like that, whip it away. Get a paintbrush in there. It's probably going to be a pain in the arse, but what? It can take you less than 20 minutes to sort it. But in terms of air quality, it's good. So, again, we've got that leak there, and then we have another leak that was once here. Okay, it's not leaking. It's not leaking. It's a past leak. Have they cleared it up? So, if I remove the bath panel, am I going to see the remnants of a past leak? Has it been cleaned? Taken by this, I'm going to say no. then I'll judge it by the toilet. I'm also going to say no. And again, that's a lot of factors now adding up. So yes, you have remnants of mold. Well, the mold's dead now. Yes, but mold is a funny thing. When it dries, it spores. That's when it becomes the most dangerous, because you're breathing in the spores. It's best to clear it away properly. And if that takes a few rags to do so, it's £6. Buy some tissue that you're going to mop it up and just quickly chuck it away. Any remnants, get with a hoover and then just clean your bag, or throw it away and get a new bag. Bagless, I'd probably use an older hoover, or buy yourself a new hoover after you've used this one. And there are many ways you can do it. You can put fabric inside the bag. That works. An old sock or something. It's not going to do it all. Layers of stocking and whatever else. I mean, I've tried some stuff. Just to quickly get it gone. Hoover and paintbrush usually works, but remember, you're going to kick it up. You probably don't want to breathe that. Windows open and vent it. If there are any feces from an old leak, and there's any telltale signs of old leak, it's probably best you have a check. Check yourself. Don't rely on other people to do safety, because, you know, again, I think council should be checking this. Remove those for us, please. Why? Because we want to have a look. We want to see what type of air quality, because this costs us in the long run. We do nothing about it, and let's say it's not affecting you directly and it's not happening in your house. Are you paying a tax through an NHS? Are you paying?
Yeah.
Are you paying for overrun doctors? Do you ever get an appointment? Because
Hardly.
there's so many waiting lists. Why? Because we're seeing a rise in all of these weird and wonderful urticaria, breathing difficulties, this, that, and the other. And
it doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be this way. Wouldn't it? Isn't it such a shame to see people go on nebulizers?
Okay.
One thing I've noticed with all these people on the nebulizers, their house have lots of orbs. They're not ghosts. That's definitely not ghosts. That means that you've got an inlet of dust. Especially if you're not a dusty person. Yeah, you are dusty, don't get me wrong, but it shouldn't be building up within, one day you wipe the sides and then there's a thin layer of dust there again.
Yeah.
No, I'd start looking at things. When you pay close attention when you put an extractor fan on, is there more dust being kicked up? Because not all of it's going outside. A lot of it is getting airborne. So, yeah, these things are worth you checking. You, yourself. If you're capable, you take a hammer and nail and do it safely, have a look. If you can get access with it with a screwdriver, have a go. Have a look. If you see it, do I want to breathe that? It doesn't stay under your bath panel. It doesn't stay in one of these boxes, because if you look at it, there was a hole down there. Do you see that? If that ever were to leak, you're going to smell it throughout your whole house. Why? Because it's connected to your cavity. That air will come out of there and it will whip up. If you've got a stronger extractor fan upstairs, it's going to pull the air from all of these places. Why? Because that's a big gap. It's easier to pull it from there than it is to pull it from a window. That's if you have a window vent. If you don't, it's going for there. And this is what kicks up all of that. Those orbs. And sure, your nose can only filter out a percentage. It can't get it all. The environment was never meant to be like this. It just gets a fine amount from those hairs and constantly blow your nose. And that would be a good thing. But yeah, trust me on this. Once you've done it and you've done all of this work, watch your dust disappear. Watch your breathing quality improve. So yeah, you find old leaks. You're relying on a company like this that so often than not want to cut corners. Because if you drop, they'll find someone else to put in here. If you get ill, they'll find someone else. When you're gone, you're gone. They don't care. I think they do, and they don't. I think it's money. Money takes the favour. Is the council truly broken? No, the system itself is pretty good. Is it working? No. Can it be repaired? Yes. Right people and the right blueprint to follow. And then what happens? We start seeing a transformation in society for all people. And again, if any debris, bacteria get on that and you breathe it in, and then you go in a doctor's surgery with people who have a cleanly house and you cough and splut, you can give that to them. It only takes one person. You know, when we were looking at Ebola, studying that when it came about, before COVID, it was Ebola. It took one person Do you understand that? It took only one little boy playing in some mud. And that has a potential to spread worldwide. I hope we're awake. It takes one person. And it does not care whether you are rich or poor, whether you are cleanly or not. It's going to find a way. That's the risk. This is the biggest health risk that we have. It just takes one person to get sick. Ooh, chosen one. Yeah, if only you knew what that actually meant. Chosen one for what? Illness, sickness. Because you may be the first one, ground zero, but you're going to spread that. Anyone you walk into contact with, anything else. It's maddening. This is stupidity. This is... Everyone thinks that their money and their safe house. I don't care, it's not happening to me directly. That attitude is not going to save you. I think we need to get together with an attitude and think, right, how do we stop this? Or at least, how do we prevent this? So, yeah. So you understand Ebola. I think it was then found in 7 people after that, but still, to a certain area. 7 people, but still, one person was enough to literally almost spread that around the world. That's crazy. So, yeah, you're pulling in particles from a drain. It's interesting. We've got fences around the gardens. This stops a lot of the wind. If it's in carbon air, it will sink. You open your door, your window, and it catches in the slipstream. It gets into your house too. Ooh. Sure, it ain't doing you lungs any good because you're breathing in chemicals. That's another thing. We ought to start looking about what we're really doing as a nation and start really wondering if this is all worth it. You know? Because what, we have to pull one house down for every 2 houses we build. I mean, that's like 1 step forwards, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 1 step back. Well, no, really, we could be adjusting all of this. You don't have to go down to a meter deep. I said a meter. Yeah, just because the last property was quite a way down till you see the slab, the foundation slab. Never have it exposed though, because that's far worse for foundations. Stones. Soil holds moisture. Works great for plants. It's not great for foundations. It most certainly is not. Stones are much better because the water just it misses, so it doesn't have a chance to stick. But when it's constantly wet, it's like having a wet plaster on all the time as opposed to a dry one. Well, you'll still sweat, so that doesn't work either, but still. Can you imagine having something constantly wet on your skin? You'd start to get the shrivel, if you like. Weird. As opposed to something that was dry. It doesn't work with skin because you sweat outwards anyway, so these small techniques that you can do can really improve your health. And everybody else's as well. Because again, if it's all on your clothing and you walk past people or... And then how many people in the UK are subject to this type of environment? What sort of community do they live in? And are they walking past people? How far are they travelling? Because sure, you might be like, no, that's only one person. I'm breathing this in from one person. How many lots of people are you walking past? With this slipping off of their clothing as you walk past because it creates the... Lots of 1% add up. Especially in summer. Too heavy to lift it, but not heavy enough to fall to the floor. And this jet stream, yeah, it's not happening just above you. It's little tiny ones are happening, little stringed versions. Right, it's very interesting. But yeah, so that type of behaviour, that's what I would eliminate. That behaviour of just, we'll put a pot plant over it, we'll put this box over it. So if it ever did leak, has it ever been cleaned up properly? And it's worse when it's dry. Because it's fletching. And if it is it getting through the draft? Are you breathing that? You're moist. inside your body. That's bacteria.
Yeah.
You sneeze past someone, cough past someone, walk with those particles past, and someone who's more sensitive, we never know how we're going to react to this stuff. And then it depends on what that stuff is. So, yeah, it may take you 20 minutes. Better air quality is very good. Humans will learn one day that they optimize on optimal operating is due to temperature, having the right temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Having the right gases, oxygen versus less of the monoxide and less of the carbon dioxide. Pressure, atmospheric pressure, low pressure, high pressure. We have an optimal pressure ratio. You know, it's in a subtle term, right? We know that heat affects your cognitive. Also, so does cold. Too cold, it can make you a little bit la-la. And a bit too hot. You ever hear people say, I don't know what triggered them off, it must be the heat. It's not far from the truth. It's also carbon ratio as well. That can also trigger it. And pressure. We understand it because it's amplified when divers go down. Nitrogen narcosis, it's known as. And you think, well, we're in the air. Air is another step up from liquid. And we have high pressure and low pressure. Same in the ocean. Pockets of high pressure because the wave has just peaked above. Now low pressure. So that's a bit more extreme squashing, stretching and squeezing. And this causes people to have episodes under the ocean. I mean, it can make them quite the wreck to be around, especially underwater. But this also happens on our atmosphere. Too much pressure, too little pressure, and the pressure changes too quickly. This will also trigger off a type of, it's mild, but still there. The body adjusts quicker to it. Under the ocean, it's amplified, but it does go to teach us that we have this happy medium in the middle. And you'll notice the richer people get, and the higher they go. They live in sterile, pressurized, this, and this, right gases inside their nice, lovely ivory towers, as such as to speak. Why? So they do know this. Then why is this not mainstream, and why is this not mandatory? Why is this not rolled out in councils, and why are councils not doing this, and this? Perhaps they didn't know, which is a possibility. But when you do, and you're told it, and you still refuse to do anything about it, that's active. That makes me ask more questions. But again, our system's broken. No, they just need repairing, I think. Interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, just these little small things, and I wonder if here in the UK we would see things start to disappear. You see, for me, I look at this as, can this be weaponized? What happens if we have an international company come here with a load of money and start deciding to build houses for Britons? These little things add up. Are we exposed? Well, it will burden our NHS. Needlessly. You see, science is a strange thing. It can be used to benefit people when we understand the right gases, but it can also be detrimental when people understand what are the wrong gases and decide to allow those to. So yeah, even with the gas as well, for me personally, the gas is a weird thing. I don't know where it goes. This gas pipe here. I believe that one is the gas pipe, I'm not sure. This one looks like water to me, so does this one. This one looks like the gas pipe in. So it comes in from the wall here. So, does it run that way? Because if it does that screw nip it? It's level. Now, either that gas pipe goes all the way down, have any screws at the back of this nipped that pipe? That's a question. Has anyone checked it? That's another. I know there's a water pipe that runs up here. Yes, and it goes up the ceiling and then back down. Have any of these nails nipped it? Has anyone checked? And then there's another gas pipe down here. Look, I think this is gas. Now, if that goes there, does it run up and across, or does this one run down and through the back? Have these screws that are on the back here nipped any of these pipework? Has this one nipped it if it runs down? That's a question I ask. So, and then who's checking that? I mean, you could do a pressure check all you want.
Yeah.
Then if there's a leak happening inside there, how long will it take for that copper pipe to corrode subject to water? Who's checking this? And then it makes me ask another question. Should it be in a cavity? If that leaks, those gaps down there, extractor fan on, it will pull it. Now, I showed you that experiment of trying to make a gas burner burn while the gas is on, but no flame. Move a lighter around and candles around, and you notice that it didn't light, didn't explode, didn't do anything. So you understand that most people are under the assumption that you need a hell of a gas leak in order for it to trigger. What about when we're walking out at the road and you can smell the gas and you can see that they make it aware that they know there's a gas leak? Are people walking past flicking lighters? Smoking? Does it explode?
No.
No. You see, that's it. But health. It's the health. That's the bit you can't see. But when you're thinking big explosion, big this, it will never happen to me. That's what every smoker says. And then you're breathing that. What if it goes into your wall? It's so dispersed, and if it's a very small leak, it may be a small leak. But if it's dispersed in the air, over time that can do some serious damage to your cognitive abilities. It's basically just slowing down what Germany was doing. It's just slowing that down. So I ask these questions, and then how do you check that? And if it's just nipped it, how would that reveal itself? And if it's exposed to water in there, or mold, or damp, because the walls are damp, and then screws, and all of these screws follow the same pattern, and I can't see why they've put them in there. Because usually with kitchen units, you have this nice tidy area, yes? Yeah? But these ones, strategic. And how long is that screw? That's the question. And has it nipped the pipe? I'm not saying that it has, don't want to scare anyone. But, you know, it would be one of those things where people start harping on about hindsight. Hindsight can be here now, if we choose. And you would believe that this is the empire that made railways. Britain. The empire that made piston rings, that water weaves. All sorts. Pistons that go into every single car that has ever been designed, and locomotives. Revolutionized farming around the world. That's what Britain's created. We'd have to ask ourselves, what the hell are we doing? Isn't it time to reburn that candle again of our innovation? Because it definitely came from here, didn't it? A lot of it did. Where's it gone? Because if you follow the pattern, do you see the difference? There's kind of a bit more of a different behaviour here now. Is it because they knew the pipe was there? I don't know. I ask these questions because, again, and then we look at this one. Not a one. What is this pattern? And then I ask another question. Why is this unit higher and these are lower? This one's higher.
I see that.
What is that? Are you trying to miss something, or has it missed something? Because again, these sockets are subject to the cavity. So the air, when it comes out, that's where it's being pulled from. Anyway, I ask these questions because it's hindsight. I like to bring it forwards. Very dangerous to have pipes inside a wall. It's dangerous to have them on the inside of the wall, and it's dangerous to have them in the actual wall. Now, whether that's running down and it's running under the house, again, it's very dangerous. What about having it so that it ran outside? It's up high, no one's going to hit it. if you're worried about people reversing into it, build a box around it. One that can be literally checked. Because I remember the old way of them checking after they've done some gas works. They used to spark a match and run it across. And when it wasn't sealed, you would see it's small leak. You couldn't smell it, but you could see it visually because of the match. But that was an old way to do it. There was no pressure in the pipe either. They turn it on, turn it off, and then just run across. And there's just enough in there just to reveal that. And then they give it more of a solder or a weld. I'm not really sure what it's called now. So how do you do that if it's in the wall? So it should be on the outside. And some of the houses built over here, they look like they're built at the same time. Why is it housing association ones are built inside the wall cavity? As if they are, or under the house, or down beside it. Why are they built there? And then we've got the foundations that are, have you seen that? It's all crumbling.
Yeah.
So what happens when the house, so often that they do, begins to split apart? What happens to the pipes?
Yeah.
What happens when the foundations start to shift like they're doing? What, 16 years? 20 years old, these houses? And there's already got shift.
Yeah.
Crumbling, failing foundations is what it looks like to me. Well, it's up to you. Again, I'm not trained, but I have done foundation work. And there were standards. These houses cost $750 million each, and they were already sold before the piles even went in. But there were standards to follow on that. Everything was checked, double checked, and someone else come to check to make sure these houses were integral. Already sold before they were even built. That's something. So that's my experience, but it's just watching how other people operate. So it is what it is. But yeah, so if that's all in the wall or wherever that goes, I can't follow it. I can't find it. Where, how, what, who's checking to make sure screws have missed and they've not gone into that? What is too far, what is not? It's just a question, you know. Yeah, and you wouldn't be able to find a leak in that if it ever did. Call me paranoid. Some people will say I am. I say prepared. Because, you know, this will happen one day in the future and people will be like, oh, it's hindsight. You know, it's 20/20 vision and not true. You know, if it's about safety of the pipes and safety checks and this, that and the other, why don't you put a boiler outside and just have the hot water pipes come in? Built into a niche where the gas pipe follows around. If any of that outer niche is so much as hit, fractured, or anything, then you can assume that the pipe, there's something wrong. Go turn it off. One, we save a precious resource, and two, we could potentially save an explosion. It's very unlikely, but again, and people from breathing it. Again, takes the burden off the NHS, doesn't it? So yeah, I think that we've got to get a bit more better with this stuff and ask the what if question. Well, it may never happen. Yeah, but if it did, could you imagine playing the same game in space, in a space module? No, you have to train yourselves to ask these questions now. If this was a space module, consider it failed on all of these different things. That's failure. And then we'll be saying, it may never happen. No, you ask in terms of space, could this happen? What to do in this scenario? Well, there's nothing you can do because it's all embedded into the wall. Shit. Oh, you get better. That's what we should be doing, is thinking more of this stuff up. Either or. Up to you. But anyway, yeah, it's definitely with this fine stuff. I'm going to get on and clean all of this up and go from there. So yeah, you'd be surprised that it can pull up. And then these bouldery parts keep hitting into it. They're dislodging the fiberglass that's there. Oh, you're breathing that too. Oh, you're itchy. I'm less itchy. I've noticed I'm less itchy in the hairline these days. So there is a hell of an improvement. But again, with those triangular things that are there, one has both of them. Another one just has the one, and the rest have none at all. Just holes of varying sizes. They must have just made them to look pretty behind the radiator. Not because of health or because it could pull something in. So yeah, small things go a long way. So what we would check, foundations and soil. Remove it if you can. Sand, a lot better. Nothing grows there. Oh, and growing plants near your gas box might not be a good idea. Roots. You've seen what they can do to concrete.
Yeah.
Oof, risky.
What they can do to soakaways.
Yeah, soakaways and also foundations. What do you think they'll make easy work of a gas pipe? Well, you'd know because it would be a telltale sign because the pipe would burst, and perhaps it's not really a burst. Slow leak is more than enough. But perhaps the plant will maneuver its rooting system away from that, shut that one down and go elsewhere. Or the plant could die. Could be a warning sign, but again, risky. Could be a warning sign to it, the very thing that it targets. So, gas is a weird thing, isn't it? Wonderful. But it's risky. If handled with care, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good resource, and have fun while you're at it. But yeah, if you can around your house, just a thin, just let any of that water go. So, yeah, I've noticed with the garden here, it slopes this way. So that's a lot of water coming there. So, and I'm not allowed to put any garden in. I've got to leave it. First time I was walked around here, they said I could do what I want with it, and then the second time, I got to leave it. So that's kind of interesting. Weird. But again, it looks nice, don't get me wrong, but looks and what it can do to a house. So yeah, who's checking this? So do you think there's room in a council to have environmental health agency surveyors? How would you ever stop them from being bought out?
Yeah, exactly.
You make them get shadowed with someone. Insurance company. They care more about not paying out or finding fault with to not pay out. I think they're the ones that would be more ruthless in this. Yeah, I think it would rely with the insurance company. It must be far better for them to not pay out or to say, we'll only pay out under these circumstances. If it truly is, this event happened because of this reason. But if it's done by your own bloody negligence, forget it. I'll tell you what we'll do with all that money. We'll stick it in a charity. You love that, don't you?
Yeah, and the surveyor who's done fake survey should pay fine as well.
Yeah.
That small one.
So I think there could be something with the insurance company to shadow along with the council because, we're all human. We could be having a bad week, bad month, bad year. And one of the corporations might be like, you want $1,000? I guess we can all be susceptible for that. Personally, I don't, but it all depends on who you are and what your circumstances are, and don't let me judge, but sometimes it can be quite easy, isn't it? As opposed to get a nice bonus incentive at the end of the year for, doing something really good. Or be rewarded for reporting buyouts. Look, they offered me this much. Do you know what? Well done, you. Here's the exact amount from us. Thank you for this. This is solid evidence. We will use that. And then there's a cash incentive that equals the par, really, doesn't it? And it teaches honesty, but rewarding honesty as opposed to deceit being rewarded, because you can reward deceit far easier than you do reward honesty. What happens if you're honest? Do you ever get rewarded for it? Probably just get a thank you. Do you see? But yeah, if you're dishonest, you could be paid. You could be paid out. Here's $1,000. Come on, look, because honesty will only get you a thank you. at a push. Well, you know, they say that we don't do it to expect anything. I don't know. Humans are not wired that way. So, that's interesting. They offered you this much? They did. And you can prove it. Here you are. What's that? That's for your honesty. Now go on, you got a holiday to go on. Thank you for this. And then they'll be sued double the amount for doing that. And then that gives the worker something they feel good, and they should feel good for that. It should be a reward for doing something good, I think. Because at the moment, we got rewards on doing things that are bad. Here you are. Here you are. Here you are. Here you are. So yeah, I would look at that, because that seems to be where the corruption goes. I think it's this money. We all are in dire straits sometimes, aren't we? And these dire straits could be created as well in order for us to be a bit more incentive-taking. So, and then this gets you quite a... Yeah, I think so. And then maybe we'll have a bit more of a better society going forwards. As opposed to, here, surveyor, you want this much? Bigger, go away. Look, I know we've been bastards, but don't write it all. Just a few? Alright, I've got to make it look believable. Here you are. We wouldn't like to think that happens, but I don't know. I think it does far more than we are aware of.
I think so.
Interesting. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here because I've got to get on, but still. It's your choice.